Welcome back to the channel. I want to show you guys a typical head format that you'd have to deliver if you were doing some kind of post-production or master delivery. Typically, places want bars and tones and a slate and a two pop before picture starts at like hour one. So here we just took some color bars from our effects under generators, and you can grab them from here and drop it on. Typically, it starts at 5830 and goes to 5930. And then most places want like a 10-second slate. So here's semi-typical formatting. We got production company, whatever the title you're working on, be it a TV show or a movie, the aspect ratio, the language, and then here we have the audio config for this example. So channel 1 through 6 would be 5.1 surround. So it'd be left, right, center, sub, or LFE, low frequency effects, left surround, right surround. This is typically how it's denoted. Then 7 and 8, we have a left total, right total stereo. Sometimes you'll see that with a lowercase t, and there is a difference, but a lot of places just call it left total, right total nowadays. And then you have a record date, that's optional. Cuts to black, then we have a two pop at 59:58, indicating program start 2 seconds after that. And then top of the hour would be wherever you'd start your feature program, your trailer, whatever you were delivering. So what I did was I made a 5.1 track, and then you can click in these boxes and label. So here I just added a track. You can say change track type 2. I went 5.1 and I went 5.1. And then stereo is just a typical 2 channel. And then how I added these tones was over in the Fairlight page. You can go Fairlight, and then we have test tone settings. So right here is like a little frequency generator. You can't hear it unless it's in record mode. And I've muted the output down a little bit because it's kind of loud, but let's arm one of these tracks. Now you can hear what the test tones are doing. And there's a 1K tone, which is typically what you'll have. So that's how you can get this going, and you can set your levels. And there's white noise and pink noise also. And then you can change the frequency here if you wanted to. Then you need to patch it. So what I did was source system generator and then chose the destination. I chose everything for the 5.1 and the LTRT. So now they're patched. And then when I hit record, I just recorded from the start of this to here just by hitting the record button here with both of them armed, and they recorded new files, the file I should say. And then we have another tone pop right here for one frame that matches the sync pop. So typically why you'd use these bars is to have your room set, and there's levels they're supposed to hit depending on your monitoring. So normally it would be 0 dBFS. And if you have your room calibrated properly and your levels set, that's what it should hit on your meters here, is a consistent 0 dB. And then when the two pop comes up, it would basically give you a little sync pop. So kind of like this. I wanted to show you, I actually created the two pop in Fusion. So essentially I took a background, we'll throw that in here. I made it white in color, took an ellipse, and that made a circle. And then transform here is just shrinking it down a little bit. That's all I did was change the size. And then I merged that into a text. The text just says 2 in black, and I merged it all together to make a single two pop like that. And that's typically how you would have your leading, they call it a head format in post. But 59:30, certain studios have different time codes they want these to pop in and out at. Some that start at 57:50, things of that nature, 58:30 or 58 even. So that's called formatting specs for your head. And then a lot of times you'll have this tail pop exactly 2 seconds right after your program ends. So if we see 59:58 and we go in and we go to hour one and go out, and then we look at our duration, actually says 2:01. But if we go back one and exclude that top of the hour frame and hit out, you can see our duration is exactly 2 seconds. And that's how that's calculated. So it's 2 1 second and 23 frames in this case. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching. As always, I'll see you guys on the next video.